Welcome to our tutorial on editing video in Descript. In this video, I'll take you through all the steps you need to make a video from start to finish. For this video, we'll go through making a YouTube-style explainer video. It has a primary script track, this video of Tiff talking about her kitchen gadgets. Then we'll be adding B-roll footage and other visuals on top of the script track. We will do this using a Descript feature called Scenes. Scenes are a feature unique to the Descript video editor that work a lot like slides in a presentation. I'll cover scenes in detail in the section titled Working with Scenes. We also have a standalone video that's just on working with scenes. Before I get into the tutorial, let's review the project layout and some of our unique video editing features. Here's what an in-progress video project looks like. It contains the script panel. This is where your transcript appears and you'll edit most of your script track. The canvas. This contains all of the visual layers you include in a scene. You can edit those layers from the canvas, much like in a PowerPoint slide. The timeline. This is where you make certain precision edits that we'll cover later in the video, and it includes all standard timeline editing tools. The properties panel. Whatever you have selected in your transcript, scene, canvas, or timeline, options for editing that layer are surfaced here. Okay, let's start by creating a new blank video project. In Descript, you can create video projects and audio-only projects. To make video your default, open up the app preferences here and select video as the default. Now, from the Drive view, select New Project. Here is your blank video project. Each project can contain multiple compositions, which are like pages within your project. They're great for organizing multiple versions of a video or however else you wish to use them. Let's start by importing and transcribing the footage of Tiff talking to a camera about kitchen gadgets. Here's the MP4 file here on my computer. I just drag it and drop it here into the script panel. As it transcribes, you'll see this pop up. You should enter a speaker label here. There's just one speaker in this file, Tiff. The speaker label lets you see who is speaking throughout the transcript. You can select a default transcription language here too. And now I'll just wait for Descript to finish transcribing. Here's the finished transcript. You'll also see the video has appeared here in the canvas. Before you get started editing, you may want to correct your transcript for accuracy. I'll explain how to do just a few things. Watch our how-to video on transcript correction for more details. The first thing to note are our transcript correction modes. The transcript defaults to being in edit mode, which means any edits you make to the transcript will edit the underlying video or audio media. To make transcript corrections while in edit mode, highlight the text, click this icon, or press C, and this bar will pop up. Make your corrections there. Next is correct mode. In this mode, any word you click will bring up the correction bar. The edits you make with the correction bar edit the transcript without editing the underlying media. Next is write mode. This lets you write scratch text into your transcript, which you can then use to generate overdub, our AI voice generation feature, one of our built-in stock voices, or replace with an actual recording when you're ready. For now, we'll stay in edit mode and get to editing this video. Before I do anything else to this video, I'm going to scrub through the footage of Tiff talking and look through the transcript for stuff that should obviously be cut, like this line.
Hi everyone, it's Tiff, and welcome back to my kitchen. I don't smile like that in real life. Why don't I?
To do that, I just highlight and delete this sentence. And now it's gone.
Hi everyone, it's Tiff, and welcome back to my kitchen. As you know,
I'll do the same for the whole video until it's in good enough shape for me to start adding additional visuals. This is where scenes come in. If you're used to working in a traditional timeline editing program, You'll need to rewire your brain a little to get the most out of working with scenes. In other video editing programs, you do most, if not all of your editing in the timeline. Descript does have a timeline down here, but thanks to scenes, you barely need to touch it at all. Scenes work like containers within your transcript that you can use to easily drag and drop in additional media, and have that media start and end exactly when you want. Back to our transcript of Tiff's video. As I was reviewing this footage, I was thinking of places to add visuals, like stock footage, footage Tiff shot of her kitchen gadgets, and text elements. For example, this first line is a natural place for some intro text, music, and so on. So that's where I'll put my first scene. And I do so by adding a slash to the transcript here at the end of the sentence, or hovering here and clicking the slash button. Now, this second thumbnail has appeared to the left of the transcript. These thumbnails represent each of your scenes. I'll add 2 more scenes while I'm at it. One here for when Tiff is talking about what she saw in Italy, and one here where she talks about an electric knife sharpener. Just to reiterate what I'm doing, I'm adding a slash where I want a scene to begin, and then another slash where I want a scene to end. Now, when I click on one of these thumbnails, you'll see just that corresponding text is highlighted in the transcript. That's our scene. Now to add in visuals. Let's start with the footage of Tiff using her electric knife sharpener. To add it to that scene, first I select the scene by clicking on its thumbnail. Then I go up to the Media button in the Insert Media toolbar here. I already have Tiff's B-roll footage here in my project files. I can either drag and drop this onto the thumbnail or click it to open this option box, and then click where it says Add to Scene. While in the options box, I can choose the endpoint for where the clip will begin with this slider. This is useful for when you're working with longer footage and want it to begin at a specific moment. For example, I don't want this dead air at the beginning of the clip. I want it to begin just as the knife enters the frame. So I'll just slide the endpoint to here, then click Add to Scene. Let's watch that back. I'll start just before this scene begins and stop after it ends.
Kitchen. First up, an electric knife sharpener. Now this thing...
As you can see, the knife footage only lasts for the length of the scene I created. Now let's add some stock video of Italy to this scene. I'll get that from our built-in library of free-to-use stock footage. First, I select my scene. Then I go up here to the Media button and select where it says Video. I'll search for Italy monuments and add this one by dragging it onto my selected scene. It's also super easy to add transitions between scenes. Let's add crossfades between this talking head scene, the stock footage of Italy, and back to Tiff's talking head footage. All I do is select the scene thumbnail, click Transitions in the Properties panel, select In, and then Crossfade. Now I hit plus, select Out, and then crossfade again. Let's watch it back. Awesome. So that's how simple it is to work with scenes. The other feature that works hand in hand with scenes to keep you from having to mess around in the timeline is the canvas. The canvas also works a lot like a PowerPoint slide. Any visual layers you add to your scenes, like the stock footage I just added, get added to the canvas. Here I'll select the footage of Italy by clicking on it from my canvas. I can scale it by clicking and dragging the corners or sides. I can also select and delete it directly from the canvas. The canvas, as the name suggests, is where you can interact with all the visual layers you add on top of your original script track. In this case, that script track is Tiff's talking head video. In the electric knife sharpener scene, let's add some text to our canvas on top of the B-roll footage. First, I select this scene, then I select the text icon here. I'll add a title. Now we have two layers on top of the script track, the knife sharpener footage and this title. You can select and edit these layers from the canvas by hovering over them and waiting for this blue boundary to appear. Select the layer you want by clicking on it. When you do so, you'll see the Properties panel over here has adjusted to give you options for editing just that layer. In addition to scaling layers on the canvas, you can crop them and add other visual effects. Let's crop the knife sharpener footage. Just double-click on the footage layer, or use right-click, crop to enter crop mode. I'll crop it a bit like so. So when I'm done, I can hit Escape, double-click the layer again, or right-click Exit Crop Mode. We have a bunch of other effects you can add to individual layers on your canvas, from color correction to AI green screen background removal, which we'll cover more in a separate video. You can also replace media, paste the attributes of one layer onto another layer in any scene, and more. Watch our video on working with the canvas for more details. Although you can do a majority of your edits in the transcript and canvas, there are some things you'll need the timeline for. First is a very helpful feature, reducing word gaps. Sometimes you'll have an awkwardly long pause between words in your footage. To reduce those gaps, just hover over the Word tab down here in the timeline, click, and drag to shorten the gap. At some point in your edit, you'll probably want a layer to extend across multiple scenes, such as background music. You can do that easily in the timeline. First, let's add some music to the first scene. I have a track here in my project files that I can use. So, I select my scene, go into my project files, and click here to add the music onto my scene. As you can see here in the timeline, a layer representing the music track has appeared. To extend it over multiple scenes or even for the entire duration of the video, just hover over the right edge of the track, wait for these handles to appear, then click and drag the track to extend it. We also have all of your standard timeline editing tools here, with associated keyboard shortcuts if you want to make other precision timeline edits. You can expand or collapse your timeline here. When collapsed, only the selected layer will appear in your view. When expanded, you'll see all of your layers in a stack. You can also hover over this border, click, and drag up to expand your timeline view. You can zoom in or out here under the three dots, or by typing Command or Control, plus or minus, while the timeline is selected. If you're using a trackpad, you can also pinch to zoom in or out. When you're done editing your video, we have multiple options for sharing it with the world here under the Publish button. The options in the Publish tab are for cloud-based sharing. From the drop-down here, you can upload your video directly to YouTube or many other hosting services. Selecting Web Link lets you publish your video on a standalone web page that you can share with collaborators. There they can watch the video, read along with the transcript, and leave comments. This is a fast and easy way to share drafts of your videos without having to export and then upload a file somewhere else. The Export tab contains options for exporting files to your local drive. You can export your composition as a video, audio, or a GIF. Yes, I say GIF and not GIF. Don't come at me. Non-destructively export the timeline to open in other editing tools, or just export the transcript or subtitles. Advanced settings for all formats can be accessed here, under Settings. When you're ready to go, just click Export or Publish. To recap our suggested video editing workflow, import and transcribe your script track media, whether that's a video or audio file, correct your transcript, edit your script track using the transcript, add scenes to your transcript, add visual and audio layers to your scenes and canvas, use the timeline to extend layers across scenes or make other precision edits, and publish or export your video for the world to see. Thanks for following along. We hope this was helpful and would love to hear your feedback and see the videos you're making. Please like this video, let us know if you have any questions in the comments, and subscribe to our channel for more tutorials and helpful content.